to escape. You're walking on the moon. I've never been. All that trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some levels that I've never been. All our trouble seems to fade away.
All right, we are going to pick up where we left off earlier. I am going to jump in here. So earlier today, I set up ARM64 workloads over on CircleCI. So what I'm trying to do is get rid of my self-hosted ARM64 VMs. I don't want to deal with that anymore. And yeah, it was pointless. I don't know why I didn't move earlier. So now I'm going to finish what I started earlier. I did the actual builder. Now I'm going to move the stack creation over. So let's jump in. So here's my workflows that are running on GitHub. I have the create stacks. This is what we're trying to replace. So you can see here that it's running on ARM64, but that's a self-hosted runner. I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm going to try to convert this, which should be pretty straightforward based on what I did earlier. I just want to move this over to CircleCI so I can get the same outcomes. And then this is the last thing that's running on my self-hosted ARM64 runner. So let's jump in, and here's what I'm trying to do. I want to, hey, oh, look at this. Welcome, Simon. It's so good. You're starting soon. Bar is still showing. Oh, thank you. Let me fix that. Boom. Let me update this. Converting. Yep. And I'm gonna put that one on there. Boom. Just so everybody knows what's going on. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining. All right, so let's get at it. So today is my first time using CircleCI, like actually developing a workflow. I've used it. I know how to consume it, but I've never created anything for it before. So yeah, baby steps. So this time, this is what we had before. Build ARM64. I'm gonna make sure I'm on the right branch. So now we're gonna do another job called create stacks. We're gonna use the same type of machine. So this is an ARM64 machine. I don't need these. I got those out of the defaults. Add steps to the job. Okay, so now we want to check out. Don't need to install anything. Let's jump over to this. I'm going to close these others because that's done. We already did that part. I'm going to do the checkout. Then I can do the login, which should be the exact same. So let's grab this part. That's a step. So after the checkout, we're going to do the login and then create focal. So this is just running Docker commands, and that's if I have the Docker CLI. So what I used earlier was the orb. So the orb has a slightly different setup. So I have to use like these orb steps, not these. I'm not worried about that. Not worried about that anymore. What happened? All right, let's see. Using, where's the orb? I want the Docker orb. Docker, this guy. And what I'm trying to do first is just do a build. Build. Build without pushing. Build without pushing. I want to do a build without pushing. Build image only. So let's do this. Oh wait, that's the workflow. Here's the job. Just the Docker build. I'm going to want a I'm going to want to pass those extras in, because how does this, oh, it's expecting like a Docker file, right? Where do I get the, where would I get the, I don't want the quick start guide. I need to get all the properties. I need to get all the values. Hello, icon. So good to see you. I'm a little tired, but Logan wanted to stay up and hang out for a little bit longer. So I'm going to try to keep going on this thing that I started earlier. And what I'm realizing is the orb, even though I found the orb, I found the quick start. I'd like to find, oh, here we go, build. Is that what I was doing up here? If I did a build without publishing, I did a build. Okay, so here's my docs for that build. Doc. So this is the only thing that's required is the image. All right, so let's do, this is what I'm trying to convert. So this is from a GitHub action. I want to convert my GitHub action over to using this CircleCI orb for Docker. So GitHub action maps to CircleCI orb. So let's just copy this whole thing. And I'll put that in a little comment. So we did that. We're not doing these. Let's do that. So this is what I'm trying to replace with the Docker build. Let's see what my options are. This is my Docker file. Docker file. It's a Docker file. It's / stack local. T is the tag, right? T tag. Would make sense. Sean stack build tiny target / target. What does that mean? Target build. I said Docker build target build, and then I have a build arg. So let's take a look here. If I do docker help, can't you use their CIMG base file? I don't know that much about it. So what I'm just trying to do is copy about, but I'm absolutely open to help. So if you want to throw some help in there, have at it. Yes, YAML for the win. That's what we're trying to do. I'm going to use action for my electron. Like everything should be, we want to automate as much of this as possible. And the reason I'm going down this path is because on GitHub Actions, they don't have support. There's no ARM64. ARM64 is like the Raspberry Pi. This is what I like to run things on. If I want to build things that are running on ARM64, M1, like my machine now, or ARM64, if I want to build something on that, I can either use emulation, which takes a really, really long time, or I can use an ARM64 machine. So I would like to be able to use an ARM64 machine. I want things to go fast. And this builder that I'm building for ARM64, it's actually a multi-architecture builder. I want to use this. Right now, what I have is actually I can show it. I have a Oracle VM. It's a great repository. I got it from my good friend and teammate, Lee. And it's my OCI Terraform, OCI, TF, OCI ARM. So this is from Lee's Stealthy Box on GitHub. This is the repository. If you want to set up a free tier ARM64 VM on Oracle, this is the repository that you want to use. Yeah, I'm not saying that you want to do that, but I'm just saying if you're bored and you want to set up a free tier, what this one does is it sets up the VM, it installs Tailscale so that you can automatically have a private VPN and you can connect to it, which is awesome. And this is the VM that I use, that I have just up and running. I don't want to have VMs up and running that are only doing one thing. I do these builds like weekly at most, if I'm heads down, but it's about monthly. I've done whatever 30, 40 versions of this, and I don't want to have all of that infrastructure running when it's not necessary. How come my comment didn't go to Twitch? I posted in the Twitch chat. How come that didn't happen? Icon, did you see the URL that I posted? Did that show up in Twitch? Because it doesn't look like it. Oh, it did. Okay, well, that's good. Okay. It didn't show up on this side. Oh, now it shows up on this side. Okay, asynchronous for the win. All right, so I don't want to have to run a self-hosted runner for ARM64. So that's why I'm moving over to CircleCI. So I think you're caught up. Hopefully that made sense. But yeah, you definitely want to have pipelines for your stuff. Everything that's not pipelined is just an opportunity for you to make a mistake. All right, so we're here. I got that comment about the CIMG base file. But if that's a Docker image, so the ARM64 doesn't support Docker images. You have to use the machine. I think that's my understanding. All right, so here we did the check. We're logged in. Now we're doing the build with this Docker file. Oh, what I was trying to do was say, what is the -- target? -- target. Oh, it's on. I gotta do it on Docker build. Docker build. -- target is set the target build stage to build. Target build stage. So I should see something like that. Here, extra build args, extra flags to pass to Docker. For example, see command line build. Oh, so I can just pass them all. So I need extra build args. build args. Icon says, I need to get you on a Discord call for help with my setup. I will absolutely join. I will absolutely do that. All right, these I need -- target build -- build arg stack id equals io.keto.stacks.tiny quote. What do we think about that? Do we think that's going to work? Do we think that that's going to work? I think it's going to work. So this build should match this line. Does anybody see anything? We said build, Docker build. Here's the Docker file. -t is the tag. Deshaun, stack build, tiny. Then these are the extra builds. Target build, build arg stack ID. So we could do that. And then we could do another one. Wait, why is there another one? Oh, for the run. So there's two parts to a stack. There's the build and then the run. So we should do the other one. So let's actually, what we should be able to do is just this. We're making the other one stack focal, and then this one is simply going to be, instead of stack build tiny, it's going to be stack run tiny, and the target is run. Our stack ID is the exact same. So this should build them, and then there should be a command for pushing, publish, push. Did we see it? Registry? No. Oh wait, push. Oh, so it'll be like this. All right, I hope Docker push. See what their example was. Docker publish, push digest path and image. Digest path and image. Oh, this is build push digest. We just want push required. I need the image. The image is this. Deshaun back build tiny, and then we'll do it again. Push. Image Deshaun stack run tiny. How do we look? Run tiny. All right. Yes. Yeah. So like for the last 10 times that I tried to jump on here and stream, Icon was on. He was already streaming, so I ended up watching his stream instead of streaming, which, yeah, it was totally worth it. Totally worth it. If you get a chance, I'm using Streamlabs, or not Streamlabs, StreamYard, so I don't have like all the shout outs. My producer over there, he's learning on the job. He'll be able to do the shout outs and stuff as we move forward. But shout out to Icon33. You should check him out on Twitch. All right, so I think that this is ready. I think, at least for this part, it'll be good. So let's see if we can create the focal stack before we go into the others.
Can I sleep down here?
What's that?
Can I sleep down here?
No, we'll go to bed. We'll go to bed in a little bit. It's only 9:40. Are you tired? I'm tired.
No, I just want to sleep down here.
Huh?
I just want to sleep down here. I'm not being bad.
Well, yes, but you can't set it up yet.
Okay.
All right.
Can you set my beanbag?
What's that?
Can you set my beanbag?
Yeah. All right. Let's do this. Let's commit this.
I'm gonna go get my headphones.
All right, we are going to, we're going to keep this, get status, get add dot CircleCI stuff. And I think this will work. So the reason why I say I think it'll work is because I'm adding, oh, not here. I'm adding a job. I'm adding a job and I'm just doing it from the YAML. So I don't know if it's going to work. Simon, I appreciate you for jumping in. You have a good night too. All right. So add job, create stacks. So I think what I expect to happen is I've added that and I followed the example that I had before. I expect that if I go over here to my pipelines, I expect that I'll see in this same pipeline, I'm expecting to see two jobs, the build ARM64 and the create stacks. Once it picks up that, change. And it only takes us a few seconds. Okay. It's here. It says error calling workflow. This creates, oh, missing Docker build. I was missing the image. All right, let's take a look. What did I do? On build. Oh, I did the tag, but I didn't do the build. So the name of the build, the name of the build image is Deshaun stack dash build, and the name of the tag is tiny. The name of the build image is Deshaun stack run, the tag is tiny. Image, all right. Git add image Docker. All right. Oh, sticking around to the end, but it sounds like, oh, yes. Sticking around until the end, but it sounds like your partner wanted some company. So, yes, that's my boy, and he's just gonna hang out. And he's gonna hang out over here. You're gonna have to move it. And you're gonna have to close that door. Boy, my boy. Yes, he's gonna hang out. So, as a compulsive console reader, maybe a request for a future stream. Could you put your camera? But right, yeah. So that is that's a problem with StreamYard. Is I don't have control over that. So with the banner down there and the camera, I definitely. You know what? What happens if I take my terminal and I move it over? Like, it's gonna be awkward, but let's try this. How's that? Yeah, that'll work, right? There's no reason that can't work. Maybe I need to increase the font a little bit because you probably can't read that, right? Let's see if I can. What is this? Why is it saying use custom font? And I would never choose that. Hello. That didn't change anything. Font. JetBrains mono. What about my console font? There we go. Use console font instead of the default. There we go. Look at that. So, Simon says it might be worth checking out OBS. I think your setup should be pretty easy to replicate in it and gives you more camera. It absolutely does. And I've been using OBS, but here's the problem. I did a stream from the airport the other day. The laptop that I travel with absolutely cannot handle my IDE and a GraalVM build and OBS. So StreamYard makes it so I can stream from just about any device. Yes, OBS is awesome, and yes, OBS is available in a lot of places, but I'm trying to simplify things. Just like I'm doing here on this Oracle VM, I'm trying to minimize the amount of infrastructure that I got to deal with, because there's like that time value and cost value trade-off. Yes, OBS is absolutely free, and I can do this. StreamYard costs money. And then on the opposite side, yes, I could do my own thing and do the self-hosted Oracle VM, but I'm trying to simplify things going forward. So I haven't thrown away my OBS yet. I haven't uninstalled anything yet. I'm definitely giving this StreamYard a go. And yeah, your feedback is super valuable. But this is the same setup. StreamYard is the same setup we do for the spring office hours. So you've probably noticed the exact same thing there. But I definitely, that bottom left corner versus any other place. Like if I'm using IntelliJ, this is like the worst place for the camera. The other thing that I can do though, or the other thing that might, I'm gonna throw this back down here. The other thing that might work is if I do something, like if I threw something, another panel in over here, but I don't know which one. But yeah, I need to figure that out. But noted. And thank you so much for the follow. Like that's awesome. All right, we'll get there. Let's get this image working. Thank you. All right, so where am I? Date status. All right, so let's do that. Let's check out our status. Did that fail again? Yes, because this is number 13. So it's just the create stacks that failed. So my setup was right, but something happened here. Okay. So it looks like it's the quoted values for the io.paketo.stacks.tiny. I'm guessing. Error response, Damon, unexpected error reading Docker file. What? Oh wait, look. So it's doing these things. Docker IO, me, stack build, tiny target build, build arg. This looks exactly right. But error from the daemon, unexpected error reading the Docker file. Oh, the // was the problem, maybe, right? You think, is that the problem? Where I had this, let's take that out. It should be okay. I'm gonna do this. This is me like shortcutting. I'm gonna see if this works. So I'm not worried about the escaping the quotes. It looked like it worked. Let's just see. Let's see if one of those works and one of them doesn't. Okay. What did I do again? Oh yeah. Update the Docker file / and changed one of the extra args. Right, we're cruising. And I can already say this, Simon, I get the vibe that you and I would sit together at lunch, because you're always on our live streams and I'm always sitting right here. When you're joining Josh's streams, for example, or Dan's streams, like I'm sitting right here. So I just get this picture in my head that we're doing similar things. Maybe you're out walking around and you watch these shows on your phone. But yeah, I get that vibe. Let's see. Let's go back to our stuff. We can watch build. So create stacks failed again, but in what way? So build. This is the target build. Setting build, context the Docker daemon. Unexpected error reading Docker file. Stack. Oh, I totally misread the deal. It's focal Docker file. So it doesn't. Wait, here's a problem. When I'm doing the CLI and I pass in stack focal, it's saying build the directory. Is it using this? Is it using this TOML file? I guess we'll find out. Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I guess we'll find out. So let's do that. Focal Docker file. Are you running this locally? By this, you mean StreamYard? I am running StreamYard. So StreamYard is a browser. And yeah, I get access to my camera, my mic, and then it's here, so I can pull you in. So Icon, watch this. I'm going to invite you. Copy Simon. I'm gonna invite Simon. Wait, here, let's do this. Let's have a little fun. Let's have a little fun. First of all, if you're watching, and you're welcome. I'm going to do this thing very carefully. Simon is already in, so I'm going to do it this way. Simon, I'm going to send you an invite link. If you're interested, feel free to join, and you'll see how this works. Invite, copy. So Simon, I'm sending you an invite over on Discord to join my stream. If you feel like jumping on stream for a little bit, come on. And Icon, I'm going to do the same thing. Icon, I'm going to send you a stream, and then you can ask questions and I can hear them. Icon, where? I have a direct message with you. There it is. Boom. All right. If you're interested, and you don't have to, like, no pressure. I'm just saying that's how this works. It makes it really easy. So this is the other thing that StreamYard does really well, makes really easy compared to OBS, is I can bring people on the stream. All right, so we updated that. Let's take a look. Let's go back to our build. I am still running into a problem with the create. Oh, invalid reference format. So both of them seem to work, but here on the Docker push stack build tiny ID, it says invalid reference format. Invalid. But it's the image and tag thing, right? Image. Here on the push tag. Okay, I just heard Simon coming in. I'm gonna let him maybe get his camera set up. I'll give him a sec. So image tag. I can do the same thing. Tag. Tiny. Image tag tiny. So it looks like both of these formats worked. So make that, that's cleaner, right? So git add git commit Docker push to use image and tag. All right, look at this. You are so pro. I am going to add there. Can I hear you? Here, let me turn off the music.
Well, that was seamless.
Isn't that great? Isn't that great? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, perfect. So now you're on stream. Like, it's just that easy. Let's do Simon. It looks like his OBS virtual camera's not working. Simon, can you hear me? So maybe he's working on that. But still, this is how easy it is to bring in guests. This is why StreamYard is like what we use on the spring office hours. So this is the setup. Super. So that I can do this. I can we can all just go like straight to chat. I got like different setups. Like, hey, depending on what we're doing, you know, like we can have it rotate around the speakers. We have just different layouts, but these layouts are all like baked into the platform. So I don't have any flexibility other than these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 layouts. But it's pretty slick. So I can add, remove, and yeah, go like that. So like I can rotate through guests and it works. So Simon, when you get figured out, feel free to jump in. But let's keep on going. I made those changes. Yeah, ask your questions.
Yeah, I might need to switch. I need to build my overlays around this, which I don't want to do.
Yeah, like that's the thing here. Let me go back and look at my pipeline. Create stacks ran. We're done. Nice. Like this is going. So, but we only did focal. I need to do them all. But like, there's our example of things working. Simon, it's great. Thank you so much for joining. It's good to hear your voice. We've been chatting for months, it feels like. And yeah, it's great to hear your voice. So thanks for joining and thanks for everything. You're a great member of the community. Icon, let me do the introduction. Simon is a regular on the shows for my team, and he's an awesome member of the Spring community. Icon is somebody who has been streaming for a long time. He's somebody that I look up to, and I'm trying to mimic. Like you can see, he's super professional. He has a great stream. He has great content. He's consistent. So yeah, I'm learning from him along the way. And now I have you both. This is great. Thanks. Ask away. It's just us. This is a safe place. I tried to make it a safe place. Let me grab the other part of what we're trying to fix here.
Yeah, what is the goal with this script here?
Okay, so you understand GitHub workflows.
Yes.
So I had these things running over on GitHub. These are the workflows that were running on GitHub, but GitHub does not have support for ARM64 architecture. So I'm trying to build things for Raspberry Pi. This is ARM64 architecture, not Intel. So if I want to build things for that, I need ARM64. So what this project that we're looking at here, this project has a build pack. It creates a build pack for Java workloads so that they can be running natively on ARM64. That's what I've been working on that for almost 2 years now.
Wow.
And the whole time I started off by doing everything on Raspberry Pis, which is super duper slow for what we're trying to do. Then I set up this Oracle VM. They have a really generous free tier, but I had this right here. I had this self-hosted runner. So it looks for a self-hosted runner with this label, ARM64, and that's the one that's running in Oracle's cloud. So whenever this workflow gets ran, not all of them. So you can see I have a few workflows in here. So this one was running. We'll go take a look. That one runs on ARM64. The one that we're doing now runs on ARM64. The other one doesn't need to run on ARM64. So it just runs on Ubuntu latest. And that one runs on GitHub's infrastructure. With the others that required the ARM64, what I was doing is I had that other VM, and I don't want that. I don't want to deal with that headache. I don't want to deal with that overhead. So go ahead, Simon.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, no, I was looking for the delay. I was trying to see how long it took.
Yeah, one thing I was wondering about, because now you're setting up your own setup within CircleCI, but given you already had a working flow, well, in a certain fashion using, your local setup using ARM64,
Yep.
why go for CircleCI and not for BuildChat, ARM64 builders, for example?
So I want to get this all upstream. So the work that I've been doing on this project was, I think it's the de facto ARM64 build pack for anybody that's doing Spring Boot 3 on an M1, M2, or Raspberry Pi. It's the default. I think it's the de facto one that's out there. I want this work to be pulled into Paketo. So when I use my build pack, let me go over here and give a little bit of the background. Are you familiar with this build pack that I've been working on, Simon?
I've seen you mention it a couple of times.
Yeah. So let's see, where's the teamwork? Here we go. So when you pull out something from start.spring.io, you get this. You get the Paketo build packs builder tiny. That's what comes from Paketo. That's what people are using on x86 machines. But I've got an M1. So if I try to use this build pack on my M1, it'll try to use the emulation, QEMU emulation, and it'll hang. It'll hang really quickly. I actually made a video showing that process. I'm a little bit embarrassed here. This one, where I kind of go through and I actually show it how it hangs and why we need to switch away. But that's up there. But what I would beyond, if you were using ARM64, you could pull down my builder. I've been doing that for a long time. You could pull down my builder and you could build on ARM64. But what if you've got some people that are on M1s and some people are on AMD 64? What do you put into your pipeline? What do you put into your your YAML file for your project. Let me pull up what I'm talking about. Like what gets committed. Hello. What gets committed into your project? Oh, why is this doing this? File, open, gateway. All right. So if you have a build.gradle, what do you put into your file? If some people are going to use ARM64 and some people are going to use x86, what goes into your build file? If you put either one of them, you have some people that are going to get a build, or some people are going to have to change, right? If we commit the x86, do I check out a branch? It just adds confusion. So what I've done is I've made it so there's a manifest. That Docker manifest, let me show the picture here. Yeah, this is a good place to start. Right, our Docker file, this is kind of what a normal Docker file looks like. Well, my build pack is doing some interesting things. It's a Java build pack. It's a Java native build. I can put whatever I want in here. And it has this detect phase. So it can go and figure out, hey, what are we trying to do? But we took it one step further. So there's the Paketo build packs. Those are tiny. This is AMD64. But early on, what I was doing was I made this John builder tiny, and it was ARM64. Makes sense. But you still, when you're pulling down your images, you had to pull down this one if you're doing AMD64, or this one for ARM64. Well, there's a thing. There's a thing called a Docker manifest. Where all we do is we say this manifest, it has a record. It points to both of these guys. This manifest. And it says, hey, if AMD64 deliver Paketo build packs, builder tiny, the one that has the AMD64 architecture. Else if ARM64 deliver Deshaun builder ARM tiny. Oh, but when you pull this down, that's all you worry about. So if you're on x86, you'll get this one. If you're on ARM64, you'll get this one. How cool is that? So that in my project, I say, hey, use this. This is pointing to an actual manifest. Deshaun Builder is a manifest that is set up like this. It's a manifest built up of this version, the Paketo Build Packs version, and my version. The only difference between those two versions is this. One of them's trusted, one of them's not. But everything else under the covers is the exact same. This is a diff between those two images. When you're doing an inspect, it's got the exact same layers, the exact same names of the layers. One of them is signed, one of them isn't. Mine's not signed. But everything else is the same. Oops, sorry about that. Oh, that might have been loud. Does that make sense, Simon? Did I explain that well?
Yeah.
All right. So now, in my pipeline, so now what I'm trying to do is make it so that this ARM64 layer of the manifest, I want to make this available so that anybody that pulls down Paketo build packs, anybody that pulls down Paketo build packs builder, if they're on ARM64, they get a Paketo build packs builder, but it's ARM64 and it's delivered by Paketo instead of mine, so that we can get rid of, or we can have somebody trustworthy signing it so that enterprises can use it and people can use it all over the globe, but it can be supported by somebody else. Does that make sense? This is part of the OSS motion. I've done something cool. I know where it's going to fit. So I want to do the work. I want to prove it out, and I want to hand it off to the team that started it, right? So my project over here, you can see I forked this from Danny Makusa. He kind of gave me the map, or a better map, for how to do this process. I took it and I ran with it, and I ended up to the point where I just had this script. It took all of his steps and I turned it into Bash. And now that I've turned that script into Bash, I want to give it back, but I can't tell them, hey, go run this script as part of your workflow. It'll run on my infrastructure. I can't do that. It has to run on ARM64 architecture, maybe, right? It might be able to do, I might be able to do this with Go, but we'll see. So right now, as far as I've proven, it has to run on ARM64 infrastructure. It can't run on my infrastructure, so I'm giving them a platform-supported infrastructure. CircleCI has a great history of supporting open source projects. Here they go. GitHub doesn't offer ARM64 support. CircleCI does. So maybe it's an option. It's better than me hosting it, right? So if I'm going to hand this off to Paketo, it's better than me hosting it. This is on a platform that they can trust, they can validate, and it's community. It's people helping people. So that's the idea. That's the process. But ask questions. Ask questions if that didn't make sense.
Have questions because this is far beyond my pay grade.
No, it's not. So your GitHub Actions are going to do the same thing. So yes, is this YAML running locally? No, I'm delivering this YAML to CircleCI because it's in the spot that it's in. Let me get back to that project. Hello, why is it making that so difficult? Because I'm on a new setup and I just don't know how things work. So what CircleCI does, I gave CircleCI my repository. I pointed to my GitHub repository, and I actually had them generate this. I gave them access to generate an example config. So just like the GitHub Actions have their location where GitHub's going to go look for workflows, CircleCI has its locations where it's going to go look for workflows. So when I commit this into my GitHub repository, CircleCI says, oh, I see you made a new commit. Let me go and see if you've got any workflows. Yes, you do. Let me go and run those for you. Every time I do a commit, these workflows are being ran on their infrastructure, not on mine. So when I want to test, validate, and package my stuff, I don't want to do it from my computer, right? I want a consistent environment. Like, what if something got messed up? Like, what if I have to reinstall? Or what if I'm switching between my laptop and my M1 or my Linux box or my iPad? I still want to be able to get stuff done. I still want to be able to push out a release. Having a consistent way of pushing out a release, that's important. And I think that's what you're trying to get to as well for your Electron app, right? Yeah? No?
No.
No. Okay. Well, even though that wasn't your goal, it's a nice side effect. You're going to have a consistent place for your releases to get created.
Bruh, I don't even understand half the concepts you were talking about here.
Okay. Well,
my YAML file is so simple. I check out, I run my test, I run my build. Actually, I build React, and then it builds Electron. And then if there's a release tag, it sets a release.
So that's the only difference, I'm building, I'm a little bit higher up, trying to help that abstraction a little bit on a different level. But yeah, these concepts, you keep watching what we're doing here, it will translate into what you're doing. But yes, yours is simple. We'll take a look at yours as soon as I'm done typing this over. We can jump right into yours.
Oh no, we're not doing that tonight.
Okay. That's cool. Let me go.
Supposed to be setting up a TV stand right now.
Oh well, hey, you don't have to stay. You don't feel obligated. I'm going to just finish doing this. And since create vocal went so well, I think I can do this for create Jammy. Vocal is a name for a version of Ubuntu. Jammy is a newer version of Ubuntu. And yeah, I create them both. So let's see what we can do.
Very interesting, at the least. I also
Good.
dropped a link in private chat. Maybe you can check it out later on. It's in regard to my earlier question. Because yeah, might be there's some detail I was missing about the runners.
I'm going that link looks very interesting, and my mind, I want to be able to explore all these. I definitely will take a look there and see if I can do that. And this is something I've never seen. Actually,
Okay.
I think about it. Maybe I have seen it.
Because that was actually what I was talking about earlier. It's not so much about not getting the fact that you're trying to build multi-architecture, but in this case, yeah, you can use external runners on GitHub as well. And one of those is the RM runner that Fleet Runner offers. Build Chat offers. That might also suffice your needs, but BuildCI is certainly an interesting option as well.
Yeah, the infrastructure cost, that's a key. So the nice thing about CircleCI is that this project that we're building is open source, and CircleCI has that reputation. I keep on hitting the mic. They have that reputation and of collaborating and working with open source community. So we're hoping that, or I'm hoping that we can slide in and not have a massive expense to add to the open source project over at Paketo as well. But this pricing looks super duper reasonable, and that first tier is very similar.
Yeah,
so yeah, I'm going to take a look at it. I'm going to take a look at it. Thank you for that link. But I'm going to copy that link over. I think that this is okay. Actually, I'm going to have you do it. Copy and paste that same thing in the comments, and I'll put it up on the stream so that I have it recorded, and it'll be a part of the video.
CircleCI is already pretty generous. I thought, isn't it like 6,000 hours or 6,000 minutes per period?
I thought it was higher than that, but even 6,000 minutes free would be, I think, plenty enough for this particular project. Here, I want to get this. Copy. I'm going to go ahead and put this in there because I want to in myself. There we go. So that's my reminder that I want to go and take a look at that one next. Take it for a spin. Thank you for that link. All right, these are the things. This is the pairing, just like what I do with Icon, and just I'm sure you've seen on the Spring Office Hours. Sometimes it's nice to just have somebody else doing something completely different, and that's how you learn. I always talk about this, like the Alt Tab, right? This little trick where like, hey, I'm switching between my apps. Like, hey, how did you do that? Nobody read that in the manual. Somebody saw somebody else doing it, and they're like, hey, what did you do? And that's how they figured out how to do the Alt Tab. So it's things like that. So thank you for sharing that. You don't get that kind of knowledge by searching for it. Google is great, but you don't get that type of knowledge by searching for it. Usually it's from somebody else. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. This is working. Oh, we're doing the focal part now. So let me just finish, or Jamie, let's finish this. I'm going to copy this over to my CircleCI config. Create stacks. I'm going to change this create stacks. I'm going to say create focal stack. Focal stack. I'm going to make a new one. Create Jammy stack. I'm going to do it the exact same way. This context is just passing in my credentials. And then up here, I'm going to copy this whole thing.
Man, I think I lost the workflow file I created.
Oh boy. We'll be able to get it back, or we'll be able to figure it out anyways. Yeah, if it's in GitHub, you'll be able
No,
to. Oh, you didn't have it in GitHub? Oh boy.
I deleted my GitHub repositories.
Oh man. We'll get there. We'll get there. So don't fret. So this. Oh, this is slightly different. Why did I do it this way? What am I doing different here in stack jammy build? Stack jammy build. I have a create.sh instead of a Docker file. Oh, because of the extra stuff. But I don't need that. I did the create.sh really just because this was long. But I think I should be able to do the same thing. Build arg sources equals package. Yeah, I think I can do this. All right. Here, we're going to do the checkout. Same. The Docker build is this. Again, I think it's actually going to be easier. So the Docker file is stack jammy Docker file. The image is going to be what? Jammy-build. The tag is tiny, right? Yep. The extra build args, that's this part. Oops. That's this part. Extra build args. I can just put it all on. Wait, where's the target build? I did the tag.
Lurking in the shadows.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining. And yeah, that was a good example of StreamYard, why I like it. Thanks. I'll talk to you soon for sure. Let's get your workflow set up. All right, Simon. It's just you and me. Let's go. Let's keep on going. And Simon, again, no obligation. I appreciate you joining.
It's an interesting way to start the day.
Where are you based out of?
Belgium.
Awesome. That's so cool. Oh, you know what? I knew that because I'm sending you stickers. All right. Extra build args. Here. Build. We're going to put this on. Do you think that I should have these? Yeah, they're both. That. Just one line.
One line can be safer at times with YAML files. Can be a bit quirky otherwise.
The long lines can?
Well, the multi-lines.
Okay. Now, why do I have that /n in there? Let me take a look here. What am I doing? That /n is a part of that sources, which I don't. Oh, I do know why. Because that lines up as the build arg. So there's going to be possibly more than one of those. Yep. And this is because we have to choose a specific. So I'm building a stack that yeah, it took a little bit of extra work, But this is because I had to do this because the ARM64 is not a normal source. It's a port. So that's why I had to do it. So this is, I think, the right way. We're going to give it a try. What could possibly go wrong? So there's Jammy build. And now we're going to do a stack. It's a Jammy build Docker file. This is stack Jammy run file. And this is Jammy and tiny. And then here, whoops. In that, oh boy. So this is a little more complicated. And let's just see. No, it should work. So build tag. I'm just going to add this. Right. Yeah. Because everything else is in the Docker file. All the other info. Okay. I think this should work. So let's compare. Create focal, we did our thing. Create Jammy, we just ran these scripts. And in those scripts, I looked at both of those scripts. And I said, hey, we're just going to do those things. I don't know why I did it that way, but I think we're getting the same thing. So now we're going to push. We don't want to push stack build. We want to push Jammy build, and we want to push Jammy run. Do you agree? Can I get a thumbs up?
Yes.
Perfect. Look at that. Hello. Welcome. Thanks for joining. We're having fun here. So let's push it. Let's push it. Yes. And CircleCI. And we build Jammy stack. Right, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I committed this. I didn't really mean to. So let's take a look. I was changing my badges because, again, I'm not going to use these GitHub Actions that are calling out to my self-hosted stuff. So I'm going to get rid of these guys. This one is Builder ARM. I already replaced it. Builder, that's the manifest. So that one is probably going to stay. This one can go because that's what we just fixed. That's Jammy. And we will, this should be first, actually. It should be in front of that. And I should do this Sean Builder ARM. No, it's the Jammy stack. Sean Paquetto 64. No, actually, I only need this.
Same packet. Oh,
yeah. Yep, I only need the one. So I have a, but this one should be in front. Builder ARM is in front. And boom, that's it. So the CircleCI stuff builds the stuff that's on ARM64, and then the builder, the manifest that creates the two, that's over here. I'm feeling pretty good. I am feeling pretty good about this. Well, before I kick that off again, let's go see. Oh, create jammy stack failed. Let's see what happened. Command not found. Line 1, command not found on the Arch ARM64. Oh. So this is where I bet you the quotes. Wait, what? Why would this not work? Why would this not be working? Let's go back. So we're passing in build args. It says build arg sources equals. So that quote, and then the next thing. So it's that quote. I need to escape that quote. How do you escape a quote in? Yeah, but do I need that quote? I do, because this sources has to be this whole thing, including that /n. So that's probably going to be my next thing, or my next headache. So let's take a look. YAML escape quotes. Escape double and single quotes in YAML. It says starts a block scalar. This starts a block scalar, which you don't need to escape anything at all. Well, that sounds great. So what they're saying is this starts a block scalar, and I can just do that.
Actually quite interesting. Didn't know that one either.
Yeah, see? Are we on? We're in the right spot. Jammy. Let's give that a try. Add that. Commit. Add scalar to avoid escaping quotes. All right. Fingers crossed. Thank you guys. We have some people joining. I appreciate it. We are doing part 2 of what we worked on earlier today, I'm trying to get to the point where I don't have any self-hosted ARM64 runners. Currently, I have a Oracle ARM64 VM that has been attached to this repository to run ARM64 based workloads. I don't want that. I don't want that extra infrastructure. This is actually really long overdue, and I'm almost embarrassed that it took me this long to take a look at CircleCI and the ARM64 support. There's more options, not just CircleCI, there's more options. We shared BuildJet also has support for these ARM64 runners. But right now, CircleCI has support. We converted part of this project over earlier today, and this is the last part. We did the builder ARM Docker file. Excuse me, we did that part earlier today, and now I'm building the stack. So this is for a build pack, for a Paketo build pack, and I'm hoping to get some of this ARM64 support pulled upstream. So that's what we're working on. So the thing we just did is we're trying to fix this build. Of course, we're using Stack Overflow. We're professionals. And we're going to see if we have any more success. All right, create jammy stack failed again. Hopefully it's at least something different. It says, wait, Arch. Is it the same error? Before it said Deb, right?
I think previously it indeed also said that, but looks about the same.
So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. I'm going to run this one first. So, oh, wait. Did it say line 1? Yeah, it did. It said line. Well, it's all in line 1, so that really didn't help us because it could have been any one of these. So let's look and see. There's no differences.
Maybe to save ourselves the headache. Since we're using the multi-line scalar anyway, maybe you can also apply that for this command. And then we might be able to get line 1, 2, 3, 4 into output.
Wait, see.
You're now using the multi-line scalar anyway, so maybe you can also split up the command over multiple lines again, like you had it previously. Rather than having your whole build
I see what you're
code
saying.
on one line. Yeah.
So
Because-
do this one like that.
Yes.
Good point. So build sources. Let's see.
There's one in the middle. Like you just scroll past it. Yeah. After main restricted universe multiverse, you have the depth.
This part?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so in this build sources, I needed to do it this way.
Okay.
It has that the sources file has to have these things on multiple lines. So line 1 of that sources file has to be this. Line 2 of that sources file has to be this. So that's what's happening. This is writing to a source for it to go get its universe, for it to go get its packages. So I had to do it that way. I don't think that I can separate. Oh, but you're saying that maybe if I leave it in the quote with the line break in it.
Yes.
If I do it like this. That'll put the space. Where would you put the next line? Right there? You think that'll work? I mean, it's worth a shot. Let's see. Right?
It actually seems like there are two ways to do the block scalar styles. One using the pipeline symbol that replaces new lines with spaces, but you can also use a pipeline, and that one keeps the new line literals.
So this replaces new lines with spaces. We don't want that. So you're saying what we might want is actually this, right? Let's give that a try. Git add git add. And yeah, we're trying to build our sources. See if we can get a little bit further. Now I feel like CBay was also on the stream earlier. CBay, thanks for joining. I'm wondering, I know I recognize the name. I'm just not sure from which audience or which show. Let me know where you're from. If you're watching, let me know where you're from. Throw a hello and share. We're just doing a little bit of hacking, trying to get rid of the need to have this additional infrastructure. CA, we're getting better. Line 1, CA certificates command. Not what? What? All right, yeah, so this is definitely a quoting issue here. What? Up here, when I did the build arg, I did name equals value. Here, how can I need name equals value. Like it's saying, yeah, that's cool, but then it's trying to do another command. I wish I could see. Let's see what my other options are. I closed Stack Overflow. How am I supposed to get anything done? YAML skateboards. Here we go. I want single quotes around your JSON lay value.
Dad, is your stream almost over?
What?
Is your stream almost over?
Yeah, you need it to be?
I'm tired.
Okay, all right, we can go to bed. Yeah, I'll hurry up. Oh, now the clock is ticking, everybody. My son. Oh yeah. Funky Waddle. You need to have walk-in music. I'm using StreamYard. Wait, did the sound alert not work? Oh no, it didn't. No, I can't do it on StreamYard. See, Simon, you're not the only one. Yes, there's lots of things. There's lots of reasons to be using OBS to make this happen. I might have to circle back. But my clock's ticking. My son is saying, hey, we need to hit the hay. What is single tick?
I think if you're using the block scalars, you can use single quotes rather than double.
So do it like this? Just a single quote?
Mm-hmm.
For the shot. All right.
And then maybe also on line 82 to 84.
Hey, Simon? We're gonna we'll give ourselves just a couple more seconds. It is late, and then we'll go. It's been a nice little stream. I think we're getting progress. The focal one works, but my builder needs the jammy stack. So we're going to have to make this work. Otherwise, I really can't get excited about it. And if we don't do it tonight, then we'll just circle back and do it tomorrow. No biggie. No biggie. Let's go back and check our pipelines. Oh, come on. What does it say? Oh, wait. Docker build our packages. Docker build requires exactly one argument. Docker build stack jammy run Docker file tag build arg. What did I miss? Docker. What are we missing here? For jammy Docker build, we have our Docker file, our image, our tag, and then the extra args. and this is for Jammy Run. So this one on the build.
What was the error again?
It says it needs exactly one argument. So is it because this, I put single quotes and these didn't get quoted? I need this all to be inside of quotes for the build arg packages. I need this whole thing to be quoted, and it didn't quote it. Does it make a difference? Let's try build args. Put it back this way. Let's see. We're gonna learn real quick.
I shot you a quick link in the chat. It seems you can do double single quotes to wrap it. That might also work out.
Double single quotes.
If you look at the link I sent in the...
Yep. Taking a look. Which yep. Wait. Okay. This is what we want. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's take a look here. Paquetto. Can you try comma separated? Can you try comma separated? Oh, you might have a point. I see what you're saying. I don't do comma separated on the command line. Maybe that's why I didn't try that. So then again, it says CA search not found. So I do the double quote here. It's just saying package equals. So I'm gonna look at that link. And this is the last try. Win, lose, or draw. This is my last one. I have so this double tick. I'm gonna try it this way. I'm just gonna try the lame old, like, hey, I need that. I'm looking at the double quoted YAML example. On the link you sent, Simon. I'm going to try that. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Hello. I can't see where my... All right. Let's draw. This is the last one I'm going to try. And then first thing I'll do tomorrow morning, Funky Waddle, first thing I'll do is I will try the comma separated. But we're down to like the tiny little nibbly bits where this is going to work. We know it's going to work. This is just a, this is literally just a formatting deal. Like, why? That's so weird. But the children need to go to bed. Daddy needs to go to bed. Oh, it's so late. Nothing good happens after 8 o'clock except for sleep. Thanks again for everybody that's joining. Things were working. We got the focal build to work. The jammy build takes a little bit of extra help because the ARM64 packages are they're in a port. So it's not as easy. So I'm gonna have to come back and give that a try, and I'll give it a try in the morning. So hopefully I'll see some of you then. In the morning for me, Simon, you're gonna be wrapping up your day. It's just amazing. Thanks for joining all the way from Belgium. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you again soon. I'll definitely keep you updated on the progress. Funky Waddle, thanks for joining. Oh, I should have had you come on the stream too. But thanks for joining, and we'll talk soon. I hope things are going well. Is there anything else I need to do? I can do this. I'll remove Simon. I'll go this way. Like, what would I do here? Like, I should have like create a banner. Stream ending soon. I did that, and then I'll show that banner. I'll hide that one. Wait. Hide it. I want to edit it. Scroll across the bottom. Boom. There you go. Show that. Stream ending soon. And then I'll come over here and I'll place there. There we go. Thanks. Call it good. Another fail on using StreamYard. I can't raid anybody or anything like that. Yeah, I get it. But the one thing I can do is I'm streaming on YouTube. I'm streaming on Twitch. I'm also streaming on Twitter. So it's all just trade-offs, right? Have a nice night. Yes, you have a nice night. Simon, I think this one's for you, Logan. They're saying have a good night. All right. And wonderful. Thanks, everybody. And we'll see you soon.